I think it
I'm a
ties in a little bit to what I was just saying. Historically, it has never been a flexible work hour type option, right? Whether you're male or female, whatever your parenting role is, if you have children as an example, you by nature your schedule gets more complicated. And anytime you can add some flexible options in there, it just helps to manage that. And so when I served on the advisory board for the chemical engineering department at Nebraska for 15 years after I graduated. And it was always that, how do you attract more, and a lot of it came down to that. Historical, there's still a big chunk of historical engineering roles that are hands-on. They're dirty, they're in a factory, some of them require a lot of heavy lifting or what. And so just physically they aren't as attractive to females often, and as a general group. But really I think it comes more down to the work flexibility. So as there are more technical roles and even leadership roles that continue maybe in this flex schedule, 2-3 days in person kind of thing, and people feel like they have more degrees of freedom to manage their life as they need it, get their work done when they need to get it done, and manage their family when they need to do that. I think that makes it a lot more attractive. Is that the full solution? No, but I mean, it definitely is trending in the right direction. I know for me personally, my boys are 11 and 13, and just being able to, if I need to leave, go home. I was 100% remote until this year when we
Mhm.
opened this up. So I can do a lot of my work remote. If I need to go home, take care of something for an hour with them, and then, I'll probably work 2 more hours on my computer that night. It's my choice, but I have that option. And that is a much more attractive situation to me than saying you have to be there till 6 o'clock and you can't leave. And almost, I've worked in an environment where, it was almost shame if you left before a certain time. And those kinds of things I think are a bit outdated at this point, and hopefully we're, as a society, moving past that. I try really hard with my kids raising boys to talk about what I do, to talk about any successes that, my one son loves space. There's been some of the females in the news with NASA lately, and there's been a lot more activity there, so that's been exciting. But just trying to point out as a culture, I think, so I want, when my kids are in science class and my son's science partner is a female, I want him to be like encouraging her just as much as
Mhm.
the other way around. It's this culture that we have to build, with everyone, not just talking to little girls about it. It's talking to all the next generation of acceptance and support and building each other up in that. And I think that takes generations to shift. But if I look at my generation versus my parents versus my grandparents, we're a lot more progressed than we were, for sure. So I hope we're on an exponential trend on that one.